Welcome and meet the family. This is the family. This is my sister, Nicole Young. You've already met Serena. And then that is me, Madre, my snooker booker. They're down there. Her name is
Aw.
Bert Leah Montgomery. So
Hey, Mama.
welcome. Yes.
How y'all doing over there?
Oh, we're doing good. How about you?
We're doing fine. So nice to have you on.
Oh, it's so nice to talk to you.
So our family, I've already kind of alluded to it, but our family, we love Shark Tank, including my snooker booker. We watch it all the time. And you're one of the few people that went on there and didn't get chewed up on just your presentation, because you guys went out there and your company is Songlorious. So let me just start from the top. You're the founders of Songlorious, which is a company that basically lets you customize songs to your liking. It could be a birthday song, Valentine's Day song. It doesn't matter. You wanted people to be able to customize music. So can you just tell me the origin story of how Songlorious and how this all began? Because we like to talk a lot of business and founders and how did they pick things off the ground. And family. So you're like all of everything all in one with us.
Yeah. So Omaya and I were living in New York during the pandemic, and we had been doing music together a lot, and just, mostly for fun. And we made a song for a friend's wedding, one of my friend's wedding, for, about their love story. And the reaction was just, amazing. So during the pandemic, when everybody's lives were kind of in turmoil, we're like, just thinking about things we could do, side hustles we could start. And so we, launched a website doing personalized songs. And the plan was for us to, just make them all and, make maybe 2 or 3 a week. And that would be fun. But, we put some advertising money into it, and it really blew up bigger than we expected. And artists started reaching out to us, and it just grew from there.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy because
idea though.
It is. And
so amazing.
Because we know there's personalized cars, there's personalized everything basically. And I'm like, I love personalizing things. So how did you get from, you put money behind it, the business started to grow, now you're applying to Shark Tank, or how does that work? How did that work?
Yeah. So, and just one thing is when we decided to do this, we launched the website literally within like 4 hours of like deciding we're going to do it on our couch in Brooklyn when we were living with like 3 other people, our roommates. And we just decided on the spot, like, let's do it. Let's try it.
Test it. Yeah.
That's crazy. Wait, well, before we even get to Shark Tank, how did you come up with the name? Like Songlorious, I love it. It makes a lot of sense. So who came up with it? How did that happen?
Thank you. I'd like to take credit. I will make sure I take the credit. But honestly, it just came. We were just sitting on the couch, and I was coming up with names.
Yeah.
And Ellen was, she was like judging the names I was giving, and
like that sucks.
And I usually come up with like horrible stuff. Most of the time, it's like horrible stuff I'm coming up with. So I have Ellen to be the judge of like what I'm saying. And then I said Songlorious, and she like perked up. She's like, "Oh, I like that. Let's do it right now."
Pretty much.
And it represents what we do. I mean, it's songs, and we feel like it's glorious. So
yeah, I love it. You said within 4 hours you had a website. So within 4 hours of the name, you guys went about getting a website. Did you start an LLC? Like, what all did you do within that 4 hours or that one day?
So, in the beginning, literally all we did was we just launched the Shopify store with some, custom options built in, and just kind of did some basic design.
Yeah, very minimal.
Basic. To just, see if the idea was even viable, if people would buy it.
I love that.
They did. So then we started doing, first like an LTD, and then like later an LLC, and we got all those, that into line a little later.
No, because we like to talk about the business aspect of it, because sometimes people think to start a company, they think, oh my gosh, there's so much we have to do to start an idea. But you guys got the idea on your couch, you came up with the name, and then 4 hours later you started making a website. How much money did you even need to just start to get the idea off the ground?
Yeah, it's probably like just because of, setting up the website. We did it as cheaply as possible because, it's not like we had a lot of money. We were trying to.
And we had no idea if the idea was going to work. We didn't want to invest a lot.
Yeah, you don't want to. Exactly. So we probably, like in the first week, maybe $10,000 overall. And that's with, and that was all like credit card, like debt that I took on and saved up money from, I was working on the railroad in New York at Amtrak.
And that was all in like just basically social media advertising. That was the only thing we really spent money on at all.
Wow.
Opening the store. And I always tell people, like, if, I'm not one to give advice. I always take it with a grain of salt. But like, if you have an idea that you think is good, you just start it as cheaply as possible and see if it's working, and then you can start to
that's some good
expand and
advice.
whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, that's great advice. So what made you guys go all in? Like, how you went all in, Ellen, and then, so what made you guys just like know that this is the one?
The money. That was
That's it. That's all you needed.
Yeah, it's the revenue started coming in, and we don't have crazy profit margins because we pay the artists. We have to heavily put a lot of money into marketing. So we worked jobs. I had like a career in the railroad. I had worked railroad for like 10 years, and I was managing a project in Penn Station, New York. Once we started seeing like we got enough revenue to start living,
Right.
we were like, it's time we start doing something we really like doing.
Yeah.
I like the railroad. I enjoyed it. They did a lot for me. I appreciate everything. But I love music and doing this and being our own bosses. So
yeah. And
Yes.
I was just, working as a barista in Manhattan. And so it was an easy quit for me. An easy transition. Not that I didn't, I loved my job there as well, but it was never a career. So it wasn't like I was leaving a whole lot behind.
Yeah. And I think we quit a little too early,
We
honestly,
definitely quit too early.
because we didn't know what we were doing. And we got lucky because it could have easily went south. We
Right.
quit. It was risky when we quit. But we
Hey,
got
you took
lucky.
a risk. That's what it's about. You gotta take that leap of faith. You guys took the leap of faith, and look what came out of it.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. It's hard to take that risk. It's
Yeah.
really hard,
Yes,
especially once
it
you get
is.
settled in a good job. You got a decent career, and it's like it's hard to leave that. It's hard.
It's
The
hard to
security.
leave stability and that security and that stability, but you
Yes.
guys did it.
For
You
sure.
took the leap of faith. You had some income coming in. You had enough that you could see. You had the vision to see where this could go, and you wanted to go all in on it. Now you apply. You get to Shark Tank. What is that like? What are your thoughts? Are you terrified? Are you scared? I know you guys had a great
Oh my
creative
gosh.
pitch. Tell us about your pitch, how you did it.
Yeah, so I mean, it was pretty terrifying. That's a good way of putting it. You're sitting, you're walking into the tank, for the first time, and you really are meeting the investors for the first time, and they've done this 1,000 times, so it's like it's routine to them, and so they're not intimidated whatsoever. But for us, we had done local TV stuff, but nothing, in person, nothing live, like recording like that. And so we were pretty nervous, but honestly, the pitch part itself, where you come out and you're like, "Hey, Sharks," and you do your 1 minute, spiel. We were less nervous for that because we had rehearsed it like 1,000 times in our sleep, and it was like almost like just a performance, like.
Yeah.
And being musicians, we're kind of used to that aspect of being on stage, but the Q&A, we were really concerned of how that was going to go afterwards.
Yeah, because you're always worried you're gonna say something stupid, like
Yeah.
especially on TV, and like, oh, everybody's gonna hear how dumb I am, and like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said about it.
No,
We've
so
seen it
did you
because
guys-
that's true, because we've seen other people who have a great idea and they say one bad thing and you're like, oh man,
they
you
get
messed
destroyed.
it all up. Yeah.
yeah, and that's what we're used to watching. Like,
Yeah.
every episode's like someone getting destroyed, and you're
Yeah.
and everybody's kind of watching, like, yeah, destroy them.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, that's true. Uh-oh.
Okay, could I jump in and ask a question?
Yeah.
This Glorious, I like that. And one of the things, on special occasions, like I have someone who always calls and sings happy birthday. And I love that they have that thought for me and everything. It's a little bit to go through for them to sing it to me. And, you smile and say thank you and all of that.
Yeah.
What kind of songs, and tell us a little bit about the songs and things that you do for special occasions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. We do all kinds of occasions. So, the customer orders whatever they want. So they put in the details. So we've got all kinds of stuff like, they're getting married, or it's a birthday, or it's an anniversary. And sometimes like, oh, it's a breakup song. Like they want to break up with their girlfriend. They buy her a song. And like,
Oh
like,
my
they give it to them.
goodness. No.
So the song, yeah, we've seen some breakups. We've seen,
Yeah.
we've seen some like what is it called? Like, you know, the guy's married and he'll buy a song for his girlfriend on the side.
Oh, that's
What?
interesting.
Yeah.
What?
People tell you a lot.
And what kind of a reveal do you have on that?
Wait a minute.
I would love a video of that.
I know, right? Really? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, because my mind didn't even go to that place. I'm just thinking about but yeah, I guess that's also a very big market as well.
Love comes in all shapes
Oh,
and sizes.
there you go. There you go.
And
go.
speaking of that, you guys are both artists, and so do you still perform? Do you still do music, or now you're business owners and that's your main focus?
It's definitely, our main focus has definitely shifted into the business rather than, you know, the producing side of it. But, you know, we still record for ourselves sometimes, you know, if he has an idea, nothing serious, just for fun.
Love
Yeah,
that. You guys are
Yeah.
still creatives, of course.
Yeah, we I love
Just-
recording. Yeah, exactly. Like just for fun in the studio, like in our home studio. It's nothing crazy, but
Yeah, right. Y'all coming up with hits in there. I already know.
Right. Look, our next interview, they'll have like
I've been
5
cooking.
new hits for all these artists, and that's going to be the next thing. next
I wish. It's tough because, like, you know, you're working on the business so much. You guys know how it is. Like we put so much time into this. Every extra minute we have. So I'd love to play like gigs again. You know.
Yeah.
Once the time
we keep
opens
saying
up,
we're like, oh, you know,
let's do a set.
somewhere.
Let's do a set. Yeah.
And that's the thing, though, when you start to become your own boss, this happens a lot. You know, when you build your own company, it's like the creative aspect of you is not gone, but you have to deal so much with the functionality of the business and everything going on, that the creative side might be the side that doesn't get as much love. Even with us, you know, as one of my favorite things to do is create, whether it's content, ideas. But sometimes it's like a whole week could pass and I was just doing the things that I got to get done first, and that stuff falls to the side. But you guys are expecting. Ellen, you are pregnant. You guys are expecting. And I want to have the whole world hear. What are you naming? What are you naming your baby? I want the whole world to know this, because
we're gonna do the reveal.
We're gonna do
the
reveal here. We're gonna do a reveal here right now. What are you gonna name your baby? I'm excited for people to know this, and Snook and Cole are all gonna hear this live right now. Don't forget to tell them why. Okay.
Okay. So her first name is Layla, but her middle name is Renee.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Renee wants to think that she has something to do with that.
Right, of course.
And we're gonna change our last names to Montgomery as well.
You're joining the family, you guys.
Hey, you're part of the fam now.
Yes.
Well, listen. We wish you guys nothing but the best, Songlorious. I've been like, the reason that I came across of Songlorious is because, first of all, I saw it on Shark Tank, but then I remembered that we needed it. I remembered that they license music, so you can get music made, and then you can get it made for commercial use. So I thought, we have a whole family vlog coming out about all of our adventures. We need music. So I went on Songlorious and I started clicking around, and y'all stop me if I'm lying, because I made one song and then I was like, this is dope. I got another idea.
Oh, yeah. All of them are good. There hasn't been a bad one yet.
That's awesome.
To like 9 songs, I think. And I was like, all right, I think I'm in a good place now of how much music we needed. But now those songs, Cole and them, they've heard the songs. They love them. They're like,
I mean, you know it's good when people are just like singing it randomly around the house. Like my sister.
That's great. That's great.
The song.
Yeah, so the reason that we came to Songlorious is because I was actually a user that loved it, and it had a need. It filled an actual need. And then with us being artists in the family, I love the concept that the artists are making the money, the artists are empowered, the artists, you know, can control their own destiny in
The
a
artists
pandemic.
keep their rights.
Yeah.
it kept their right. So there's a lot of things that we love that's how they got here, is because we used the platform and we loved it. So congrats to you guys on the functionality of it. Sometimes those things don't get talked about enough, but it is so easy to create your own song on there. I've made probably about 11, 12 at this point.
Which is why we had to have you guys on here, because you guys have created something really amazing and it's really unique. Like, you know, like Renee said, there was a hole to fill there. There was a space to fill there for sure.
And so we got to ask you one question, because you have you're building, your family's growing, and we talk about the money that you create for your family. What does generational wealth mean to you all now that you got your own company and you have a little nugget on the way?
That's
a really good question.
That's a great question. You know, I grew up in the Middle East, right? And my dad's Palestinian. So when you think about, you know, my grandfather was an orphan in Palestine like a long time ago. And, you know, just thinking about what they did to help me get to where I am now, you know, I would have, you know, I'd be nowhere without them. And the hard work that they put in and the struggle that they had to get me to have I have an easy life. You know, it's, you know, even before the company, it's pretty easy, you know. And I think just creating that generational wealth to pass on to the next generation is so important.
So that, you know, they can be empowered to do whatever.
To do what they want to do.
Exactly.
And what they love.
I agree.
Love that. We firmly believe in that. We always say it's a generational thing with Montgomery and Company. And we thank you, Ellen and Omaya Montgomery, for joining the family on Montgomery.
Thank you guys so much for having us. And just so you know, the reason we work with you guys is because of how amazing you guys are. And it's like, look at this family, beautiful family. And you guys are so nice. And we love you guys. You're so wholesome and you understand Songlorious. So
yes, thank you. It's all family now. It's all part of the family, and we wish you blessings on your little nugget coming. Let us know when she gets here. But you guys, thank you for joining us on Montgomery and Company.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Much blessings.
Bye, guys.